Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to Developer Maroof. In today's lesson, we'll learn about storing data in the browser using local storage, session storage, and cookies. These are three different ways to save data that persist between page loads. Local storage keeps data even after the browser closes, and session storage only lasts for the browser session. Cookies are the oldest method and can be accessed by servers. Understanding these storage methods is essential for building web applications that remember user preferences and data. Let's start coding. So I've already created our HTML file. In that HTML file, we have three sections, one for local storage, one for session storage, and one for cookies with buttons to interact with them. And we did some stylings right here to make my demo look good, and I have added our JavaScript file here. So without wasting any time, let's dive into our JavaScript. So let's start with local storage. I've already told you local storage persists data even after the browser closes. So let me show you here where we will see our storage. You just inspect and open application tab. Here you can see we have local storage, and this is where our data will be stored as key value pairs. And this is our session storage. Here we will see our session storage data, and here are the cookies, which are empty now. We will see our data one by one. So let's start with local storage first. So let's add a comment, local storage. We have different type of methods inside local storage. So let's say local storage. Inside that, we have a method called setItem, which saves our data to the local storage. Let's say setItem. So the setItem takes two parameters, a key and a value. Both will be strings. So let's add a key named username, comma. Our second parameter will be its value. So let's say Maroof. You can see we have just saved our data as a key value pair inside our local storage. Let's add another one, localStorage.setItem. Inside that we can say age 23. You can see we have age as well. We can set item. Mostly we add themes. Let's say theme. Let's say it's dark theme. You can see we have added three key value pairs inside our local storage. This is how you set data inside the local storage. And we have a method called getItem to get that value from our local storage. Like to retrieve our data, use getItem. So we will get item by any key. For example, if we want the value of username, which is Maroof, we can just put our key here as a string. Let's say username. And if we want to see what is the value of username, let's store it inside a variable called username equals to this. And let's add a log, say username, and let's say username is, comma. Okay, let's see our console. You can see username is Maroof, which is right here. Now we can get our age. Say age equals to local storage dot get item age. We can get our theme as well, local storage dot get item and theme. If you want to log this, you can log it as well. Let's say age is age. We have a theme is theme. Save this. You can see we have our name, our age, and our theme. So this is how you save and retrieve our data from local storage. If you want to add any object to our local storage, you can do that as well, but we should send it as a string, as a JSON string will be suitable. Let's add a comment here, set item. Sorry, not here. This is a get item. This is a set item. And now we will store our objects which need to be stringified. Okay, so let's create our object first. Let's say user equals to object. Inside that we can say name is, so first let's comment this out. Let's say Maroof, and another property, let's say email will be maroof@developermaroof.com. We will have a preferences. Let's say it is an object, and we have theme, which is dark, and we have a language, which is English. Let's save this. Now if you want to store that, I've already told you we have a setItem method for this, setItem, and we have two parameters. First as key, let's say we have a key named user or user data, comma. We have a second, which is a value. In that case, we have an object, so we first need to stringify it as a JSON string, because we can only store strings inside our local storage. So first let's say JSON.stringify user object. So So now it is stringified, and you can see we have just added our user data here. You can see we have a full object which is stored as a JSON string. Without that JSON string, we can't store it. Let me show you that. You can see we have no value, we have just object. So we must store as a JSON string to see it properly. And if you want to get that, you can get it. First we should parse that, because now it's a JSON string, so we first need to parse that JSON string into an object again. Then we can see inside our console. So let's say stored user equals to, we have a method called JSON.parse to parse that JSON string. Inside that we can get our user data key. So let's say localStorage.getItem. Inside that we can have our user data key, and let's add a log to see our, let's say, user data object from local storage is, and get our stored user. See this, come to the console, you can see we have a user data object from local storage is there. We got our object from our local storage. Now if you want to remove any key and its value, we have a method called removeItem. Let's say removeItem. It will remove our keys with their values. So we can say localStorage.removeItem. Let's say I want to remove that age, so we need to add its key to remove it. You can see we have just removed our age key from our local storage. So this is how you can remove any key with its value. And if you want to clear all of the keys, all of the local storage, whatever stored inside it, then we have a method called clear. Let me show you that as well. localStorage.clear. Now you can see we have just cleared our local storage. So this is just all about our local storage. I've also added a UI, so you can connect that by adding JavaScript to save keys and values to our local storage. Right now I haven't added any JavaScript on it. It's just a UI, just HTML and CSS. I just created it for you guys. I've already taught you in my previous lessons how we can create functions and conditions and everything. You just need to create a function and some event handlers. So on click, the data of these input will be saved inside our local storage. You can add these setItem to save it, and this getItem to get that value here in this box. I have added its IDs as well. You can just manipulate them with that. Sorry, not IDs, but classes. You can add extra classes as well, or IDs, whatever you prefer. So I think I have cleared enough your concept of local storage. Let me comment it out, and let's move on to our session storage. So the session storage works the same way as local storage, but data only lasts for the browser session only. Means if we close the tab and we run our application again or open our HTML again, that session will be gone. It only lasts for the first session only, the browser session. So we will see here its data. Let me clear it up. So same way, we have the same methods inside our session storage as well. Let's say SessionStorage.setItem. We have two key values. Let's say we have a session ID, and let's set a value of it as A, B, C, or 1 to 3. You can see same way as local storage, it's saved inside our session storage. Same way we can get that as well. Let's say const session ID equals to SessionStorage.getItem, and let's get our session ID, and let's add a log. Inside that we have session ID. Let's add a comment as well. Let's say this is our session ID. Save this. Let's see our console. You can see this is our session ID, which is ABC13, which is stored inside our session. And this is stored. This is not from our code, but this is from the browser we are using. It's in their code to store it inside the session storage. That's why we are getting that. We can delete that, but it will come again when page refreshes. If we refresh the page, you can see we have that again. Maybe it's coming from our live server. Okay, so we have all the same methods as local storage: setItem, getItem, removeItem, and clear. So now let's move on to cookies. Let's comment it out first. Now we have cookies. So cookies are the oldest method. They are more complex but can be accessed by servers. These are mostly used for authentication. Let me show you that as well. So let's first set cookies. To set any cookies, we first create a function. Let's say setting cookie. Let's add a function. Set cookie. We have 2 or 3 parameters. Let's say name. We have a value and how much time cookie lasts. So we have a days as well. Now let's say let expires, and let's put a condition. Let's say day for days. If days and const date, which we will create a new date, and let's set our date, set time. We have date, get item, not item but time, sorry. To get our time, then we will plus them with our current days, and we will multiply that 24, 60, 60 and 1000. So we will expire our cookies after 30 days. This is just a helper function I'm creating to work with cookies. And let's say expires equals to, let's add a semicolon, expires equals, let's concatenate it with our date to UTC string. Okay, now let's set our cookies. Let's say document.cookie. This is how you set our cookie, and we have its value equals to name plus whatever name we will put inside our argument. We'll get that. Name equals to plus, let's say value, if we have a value. If we don't have a value, then just keep it empty. And we have an expiry duration and an empty string. Not an empty string, but sorry, we have path equals to. So this is a helper function to set our cookies. Now let's create another function to get our cookies. These are just helper functions I'm creating. I'll show you how it'll work. Let's say function get cookie, and inside that we have name. So we will get our cookie value with its name, which you can say key. Now we can create a variable called name eq. Let's say name plus equals to. This is for name and equals to, that's why I have e and q, which is equals to. And let's create another variable where we will get our character. Let's name it ca character at. So document.cookie, we will split that cookie with our semicolon, and let's create a for loop. So inside that loop we have our variable. We have already covered how loops works. You can check it out our previous lessons for that. So we have variable, then we have condition. Let's say I, if I is less than our character length or our cookie length, you can say, and I plus plus, then iterate or increment it. Now let c equals to ca I, and you can say while c dot character at 0. This is just a condition. Let's say if character at 0 index is equals to space, then c equals to c dot substring 1 comma c dot length. I'll explain you everything when we invoke our functions. Let's say if c dot index of, so the index of name eq is equals to 0, then just return our substring of c, substring of name equals to eq and its length, and another parameter we have c length, and after that loop we will just return null. So this is helper function for getting a cookie. Now let's create a final function to remove a cookie. Let's say removing a cookie, and let's create a function to remove cookie. Inside that we have a name, and we can say document.cookie and remove that cookie with the name whatever it is, and equals to colon, then expires at, let's put anything. Let's say Thursday 01 January. Let's put any year, let's say 1970. Let's add a UTC, so it's a 000000 UTC. Then we can paste the path. We have slash colon. So that's it for this function. Now let's actually set our cookie. So let's say set cookie. We are calling this function right here to set our cookie. This is a helper function. So let's say our name will be user preference. You can see we have a user preference, and we automatically added our path. Let's remove that and refresh that again. You can see now we have a preference path. Let's a little bit see clearly everything. The other argument is value, so we will add a dark is its value, and the last one is days for the cookies to expire. Let's say 30 days. Save this. So you can see we have just set our cookies. This is our key, this is our value, and this is an expiry date where I did some calculations. So it will calculate that current date and after 30 days it will be expired. So you can see here is our date to expire this key, which is 2026, and second month 24 date. Right after 30 days it will be expired. So this is stored because of these calculations where I get our date or current date, then set our current date with the 30 days calculations, so it will be expires on that date automatically. And we just set our cookies, its name, and make it equals to value, which is coming from here, and with our expires with our path. So this is how you save any cookie. It's a bit complex, but when you keep doing it many times in many projects, you will get to know how to do it and you will used to it. So let's add another cookie. Let's say we can add anything. Let's say visitCount, and let's add its value. Let's say 1, and let's add an expiry date 7. So after 7 days it will be expired. We have our key, our value, and our expiry date. You can see it. You can set as many as you want. So let me show you now how we get cookies. So first let's say set some cookies, get cookies. Now let's get the cookies. So first we will create a variable so we can console it to see our values. Let's say user preference equals to get cookies. Now our get cookie function, this one, let's invoke it. Inside that we can put our key here to get that value. So let's say user preference. Now if you want to see the value, you can just log this. Let's say our first cookie, user preference. See this, open our console. You can see our first cookie dark, which is the value of this user preference dark. And if you want to get the other one, let's say const visit count cookie, you can add a get cookie and its key visit count, and let's add another log. Let's say visit count cookie, our second cookie. Save this, come to the console, and you can see we have 1, which is its value. And if you want to get all cookies at once, you can do it as well. Let's say get all cookies, and let's add a log, and you can just say all cookies, and you can just add document.cookie. Now you can come to the console and see we have all our cookies. Our first one, user preference, is equals to dark path, and our second one, visit count, equals to 1. So this is how you can get all cookies. Okay, so I think I have covered all our concepts for these 3 storage. So I hope you understood everything. You just learned about 3 ways to store data in the browser: local storage, session storage, and cookies. I haven't shown you the demo of this UI, but it's just created for you. You can just connect it with JavaScript and you can add or remove any data from local storage, session storage, and cookies right with the UI. If you want the video how we can connect that, just drop a comment. I will create a video on that and upload it so you will know how we can connect our UI with our JavaScript. So that's it for today's lesson. Let me quickly remind you again about these 3 storages. So the local storage persists data even after the browser closes, which is perfect for user preferences. And session storage only lasts for the browser session. It's great for temporary data like shopping cart or anything like that. And our last one, cookies, which are the oldest method. It have a smaller storage limit but can be accessed by servers, which is really helpful. Each has its use case. Choose the right one based on your needs. In the next lesson, we will learn about async JavaScript fundamentals, callbacks, and the event loops. This will help you understand how JavaScript handles asynchronous operations. If this helped you, like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone learning JavaScript. Jazakallahu khair for watching. Allah Hafiz.